Greensboro police have charged a 37-year-old man after a child brought a gun to an elementary school. You might remember us reporting a couple weeks ago that a student brought an unloaded gun to Moorhead Elementary on November 20th. Well, police charge Alejandro Brito for not securely storing a firearm.
Okay guys, welcome to the video. So the topic of this video is going to be about, guns being brought to school, and then I have another clip about a law with guns in private schools. So this individual here, he's being charged with not securing or storing his firearm because, a child, which I'm sure was in his protection or guidance there under his home or whatever or not. They brought a gun to Moorhead Elementary School in Greensboro, and luckily no one was hurt or injured. I think they was definitely saying that the gun was unloaded, but that just goes to show you, kids at that age, little impressionable age, they see stuff like that. They want to pick it up. They want to see what it is. They're very curious. So, the child should have never even had a chance to touch the gun. The gun should have been well put up in a safe, a lockbox somewhere high, up in like a closet, or you know, just anywhere other than in the reach of a child, to where the child's able to get the gun, put the gun in their backpack, and take the gun to school. And I'm not sure, what, how the child is being raised as far as, their education on guns, and how often they're able to see guns or be around guns. But, the child, definitely was comfortable enough to, pick the gun up, not really knowing if it's loaded or not. Because, at that age, they shouldn't really have any knowledge as far as checking to see if there's a bullet in the chamber, or if there's a clip in the gun. And, even if there is a clip, luckily there wasn't any bullets in it. They didn't really get specific on that. But 37-year-old man here being charged with, you know, not securing a firearm securely. And of course, you gotta find out who the parents are and really hold them accountable when things like this happen. Because there's been reports, like especially out of Durham, where little children have a little boy specifically. It's a video that I did on where he um shot himself, and I still haven't gotten really an update on, what's going on with that. So definitely looking out for an update on that. But you gotta hold the parents accountable for things like this when they're not being responsible the way that they're told. And also, if take the course, you definitely are taught this. And I mean, it should be common sense, especially when you have young children around. They definitely shouldn't be in the reach of a gun or around a gun. So I'm gonna let this continue. It's a very short clip.
Guilford County Schools says school staff quickly secured that gun without incident. No one was threatened or was hurt. The student is also facing school and legal consequences. Greensboro police.
So they're saying that the student is even facing, school and legal consequences. Um, Hopefully, that student isn't too traumatized by what happened. And, hopefully they got a good understanding now that that's not something that you're supposed to do at all. Because that's very, very dangerous, and it could have went left real quick. I got another clip here about a new law in North Carolina, a new rule for guns. So let's take a look at that.
Right off the top, you should know the biggest restriction in this law is that it only applies to private schools. The law allows some employees and volunteers at private schools to carry guns or stun guns on school property if they meet strict criteria. That includes concealed carry permits and annual training under a certified instructor. And this next part is really important to know. They must be authorized by the school to carry there. It also lets concealed handgun owners bring their weapons to religious services at schools, but only during worship or ceremony events like weddings or funerals, and only if the building is both a school and a church. The law also increases felony penalties for assaults or threats against elected officials, judges, and other government workers. It also requires a judge, not a magistrate, to set bail for those crimes. Again, all of this started today.
Okay, so as you just heard, there's been new laws that have rolled into effect coming on December the 1st, and so now at private schools they're saying that volunteers or like staff are able to bring guns to a private school and guns or stun guns, but they have to go through a very very strict application process of where of course they have to have their concealed carry permit, and then they also have to have authorization from the school in order to be able to do so. So this is definitely a new step. I'm not sure if this will ever reach public schools, but for private schools, this is now into effect. They also said that a magistrate cannot they cannot grant bail or set a bail for individuals who threaten public officials, or well, it's higher consequences for individuals who threaten public officials, but people who violate this law, they have to actually see a judge before they can get like any type of bail set. And again, like the other part is they're able to bring concealed guns to like ceremonial things, such as like weddings and stuff like that that happen at like a school. Like a lot of private schools have like chapels and stuff like that. So it's just very interesting law. um Maybe the people the politicians who wear you know they were put this law into place, maybe they went to a private school, maybe they seen some things, maybe their children goes to private school. So this is something that they wanted to make sure was implemented. And yeah, so it's law as of now. So you definitely want to get familiar with the new laws that have taken in effect, especially here in North Carolina. You want to definitely make sure you're versed in those laws, and you know we'll see what becomes of this. Hopefully it's a good thing, and hopefully people can stay protected and stuff like that. Again, I don't know if this will ever reach public schools, with the sheer amount of students that go to public schools. But it is at private schools, or this could just be like a test or demo to see how well does it work at private schools, and it maybe be rolled out later on to public schools. But as of now, employees and volunteers can bring guns or stun guns to the school, but they have to get authorization from the school. They have to have their concealed carry permit, and then they also have to go through, a rigorous process within the application to do this in order to do it. And then they also have to take yearly annual classes with a certified instructor, as far as being able to make sure that their knowledge and their education on how to of gun safety is updated every year. So those are some good. I feel like those are real good restrictions and real good requirements, um, to allow people to do this. And it's very interesting. I never seen this coming, so completely left field. And we'll just have to see what becomes of this law and stuff like that. So go ahead and close this video out. We want to kind of make it a little quick video. Again, if you like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.